Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Caleb, and around these parts, I'm known as the Furniture Cowboy. My wife and I have created a business here in Austin, Texas, transforming random pieces of furniture we find into something truly spectacular. It's been a super busy week for us here in this 100+ degree weather. I feel like we've been pumping out videos left, right, and center for you guys. If you enjoy videos like these, please consider subscribing. It truly goes a long way to helping us grow. We've got a pretty awesome flip for you guys, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So we're starting off today's video a little differently. Step 1 is going to be glue up some wood. Why is he gluing up wood, you might be asking? Well, let me give you a little background on this piece. So the piece we're working on today is a piece that we got for free off of Facebook Marketplace, and when we got it and brought it back to the garage, we checked it out and I realized that it's 100% particle board. We decided not to work on it at that point, and I shoved it into a corner of our garage and basically forgot about it until now. We've run out of pieces and we're finally going to work on this one. Whew, a little bit of a long-winded speech there, but basically, since it's particle board, we know that we want to go ahead and lift it up off of the ground, and we're going to do that today by creating some super cool legs for it, hence the glue up. For doing this glue up, we went out and got a parallel clamp, and what that's going to do for us is allow us to clamp all of this wood together without it sliding all over the place. So what you see us doing here basically is using that parallel clamp, applying one clamp, and then moving that parallel clamp all the way down the wood until everything's clamped up and nice. That is going to lead us right into step 2, which is straighten up those edges. So after we did the glue up, because the two pieces of wood are not exactly identical, there's going to be a little bit of overhang on each side, and we're just going to clean that up at the table saw by sliding each piece through. You can certainly use a push stick for this if you're uncomfortable. I would actually recommend it. For me, I'm just making sure to keep my fingers away and just apply steady downward and inward pressure towards that blade. Once we have nice, perfect edges on our wood, we're ready for step 3, which is cut into shape. For these legs, the math was pretty simple. We're just basically creating two parallelograms connected by a trapezoid where all of the angles are 20 degrees. And if that's a little hard to understand or picture, I went ahead and laid them out on the floor so you can kind of get an idea for what I mean. Step 4 is going to be to taper those legs. So laying them out on the floor, we liked how they looked. They were a little chunky for our liking, so we're going to go ahead and give them a nice taper using the bandsaw and just thin them out a little bit. And we're also going to round off the inside and the outside corners. Once that's all looking sharp, we're moving on to step 5, which is round over the edges. That's pretty much all there is to say about this step. I'll let you guys watch me struggle with it for a little bit. The router is like 30 to 35 pounds probably, so the wood really likes to run away from the router. This is what it looks like when my wife is not there to help me in my videos. Baby, if you can hear this, please come hold my wood for me. Whoa, phrasing. That's not what I meant. Hey, get your mind out of the gutter. So we're finally done with those legs, and we're moving on to step 6, disassemble and clean. It's crazy, we're on step 6 and we're just now getting started on the dresser, but that was actually intentional because in our last project I painted the full piece and then we ended up doing a lot of woodwork, and since we don't have great dust collection, we got dust all over the piece and it was just a hassle to clean. So we're learning from our mistakes, and anyway, we're done making those legs, so here we go. Here, like always, I'm going in and taking all those drawers out, removing all of the handles, and actually, judging from this video, it looks like I didn't clean. I could have sworn I cleaned, but anyway, that is a big no-no. Probably the biggest no-no in all of furniture flipping. Man, I must have been too excited about those legs. Anyway, step 7 is going to be scuff sand. Here, I'm just going ahead and scuff sanding the entire body of the piece. And since this piece is all particle board, this is going to leave some exposed particle board, which we'll have to seal in later. Once everything is scuff sanded, we're going to go ahead and wood fill any super obvious areas. I also mixed up some Durham Sputty, and I'm just going in and filling in that little gap on the top. When all that's dry, we go in and sand that down once again to create a nice smooth surface. Step 9 is to seal up that particle board. So like I mentioned, after sanding, a little bit of it was exposed, and we're just going in with some acrylic sealer to seal all that up. That way it won't absorb any water or anything from the paint. You'd think for these aerosol sprays, since we know that they kill brain cells, they would make them smell not great, but this one actually smells like bubble gum. So just make sure you wear a mask because we don't want to wind up like Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Step 10, always make sure you wipe off any excess dust. Once all that excess dust is wiped off, it's time to prime. For this part, we're just going ahead and priming the entire body of the piece as well as all of the drawers. My paint sprayer wasn't wanting to work with me when it came to this primer. I'm not sure if it was too hot or maybe I just didn't clean it as thoroughly as I thought, but as long as we're getting enough primer on the surface to give the paint something to really grab onto, I'm not too concerned. In a previous video, I told you guys that I would be getting a Lazy Susan to put drawers on, that way I could spray them with my new favorite technique for spraying drawers. And lo and behold, we went out and bought a Lazy Susan for about $5, and we are rocking and rolling on these drawers. I haven't seen any other furniture flipper do it this way, and I feel like they are really sleeping on this. I might really be onto something here. Let me know what you guys think. Once everything's primed, it's time for step 12, paint. So on this first coat here, we're going in with a color called Pepper by Good Bones. It's a beautiful color. Seriously guys, watch me paint these drawers. Anyway, what was I saying? It's a beautiful color, but when I finished painting all the drawers and the body of the piece, it was just a little too bright for our liking. So we went ahead and mixed it with a little bit of Noir, which is a black paint also by Good Bones. And that turned it into this really awesome, muted, kind of moody pink color. But unfortunately, before deciding that the color was a little too bright for us, I went ahead and painted every single drawer, both cabinets, and the body of the piece. Once that bright color dries, we go in with 220 grit with our soft foam Diablo sanding block. And I got a little spooked by my wife here. I've had situations in the past where some of our neighbors have come up behind me, so she definitely scared the crap out of me. So step 13 is going to be paint with new color. If you guys want to achieve this color, the ratio is 1 part curry to 2 parts pepper, along with just a few tablespoons of Noir by Good Bones. If you guys haven't used Good Bones paint yet and you're interested, be sure to use the link down below in the description and use code COWBOY to save 15% at checkout. At this point, it's just about midnight, but we finished up painting and we're ready for step 14, polyurethane. I would actually prefer to do just about everything at this time of night because it's finally cooled off and that sun isn't beating down on us. But we try to be pretty respectful of our neighbors and we just can't do stuff that late. As always, for polyurethane, we're using Behr Poly by Behr. Behr Satin Poly by Behr. We did 3 coats of this, sanding between each coat. We finished off the night after sealing everything up with 2 coats of polyurethane. And the next morning, we were ready for step 15, reassemble. Here, I pretty much just removed all of the tape from those little rollers. And then I actually put the cabinet doors on upside down. Which leads us right into step 16, fix holes. So I was a little pissed off at this step because whoever installed the previous drawer pulls, well, the new handles we got, the holes needed to be 5 inches apart. Whoever did the previous drawer pulls, the holes were just barely off. Like they weren't quite 5 inches. And then I actually wasted a ton of time trying to drill the holes just slightly inwards, but that was taking forever. So we decided to go in with some Bondo and just fill those up so we could re-drill perfectly. Once those holes are drilled, we're moving on to step 17, attach the legs. So in this clip here where I'm attaching new structural pieces to the bottom, you can actually see the particle board is a little damaged, and that's exactly why we want to lift it off the ground, because over time that particle board is just going to keep getting damaged unless you raise it up. So that's exactly what we're doing, and this will prevent any damage in the future, hopefully. We went ahead and marked where we needed to screw from inside the dresser, so we'll attach the legs at the bottom of the dresser with 2 L brackets, and then we'll also screw from the inside of the dresser into that middle trapezoid piece of the leg. Once those are looking good, we move on to step 18, repaint and repoly. So we definitely could have saved ourselves a lot of painting and polying in this video, but it's not a huge deal. We got there in the end. Everything's painted and polyed and looking beautiful. And as always, just to remind you guys, this is what this piece looked like when it first came to us. Beaten, battered, and in desperate need of being raised up off the ground. And this is what the piece looks like now. So as you can see, the piece looks beautiful. Actually, one of the questions that we got in our Q&A video is, do you guys do particle board or do you try to steer clear of it? Personally, I think particle board furniture's 2 main problems are easily solvable. The first is that as long as it's on the ground, the base is just going to continue to get damaged. And the second is that it always seems to be trying to look like real wood. I hope this video showed you exactly how we solved both of those problems and turned this piece into something so freaking unique and beautiful. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, consider subscribing to our channel, and click that notification bell so you can keep up with when we post new videos. You guys rock, and I will see you in our next video. Peace.